I want to talk about perceived separation. I say perceived separation because we are never really separated from anyone. I first experienced loss when I was 3, and I found my grandma in bed. She usually was the first one to wake up, and I thought it was strange. I got out of my crib. I climbed out of my crib, and then I went over to her, because my crib was in her room, my grandpa's room. And I went over to her, and I said, "Grandma," and she didn't move or wake up. So I went and I told my aunt. My Aunt Gina was in the kitchen. I think she was 16 at the time. And I told my Aunt Gina, "Grandma's not waking up." And so she had passed in her sleep. So that was my first experience with separation. I really loved my grandma. My grandfather did something really, really good for me. When she was in the funeral home, her casket was open and was just me and my grandfather. He picked me up and told me to kiss her goodbye, and she was going to heaven. And so I leaned over and I kissed her cheek, and I said I loved her and goodbye, and that actually really helped a lot. Just that little thing, just that little gesture, helped me process it. And then that was that. Then we moved out of my grandmother's house. So that was my first experience with loss. I actually think that was a catalyst, or to experience and understand death at such a young age of 3 years old is kind of significant, I think, for me. Then when I lost my brother in 2016, October 7th, 2016, I lost my brother. My brother had an accident. He thought he was buying, heroin, but he was actually buying, so he was one of the first people to, it was laced with fentanyl, and, he took a dose apparently, and then he took another dose, and then apparently he wasn't, or he appeared not to be breathing, because what I think is, I did a paper after, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I did do a paper in school for English about this after I lost him. So I did a lot of research about it, and it just relaxes the body so much. He actually was not. He hadn't passed. It's just that his body was so relaxed, and his girlfriend at the time, who was also a user and had some, left him in the apartment. She left him to go hide the evidence instead of giving him some Narcan. She was trying to save her own ass. And it's unfortunate. I think that happens a lot with these people. But so he did get to the hospital, and their prognosis for him is that, or diagnosis, or I don't know which one. They said that, well, I now know more. If they had kept him on life support, there was a very good chance. He would have had to have been on life support for a while, but there'd be a very good chance for the drugs to leave his system, and he would just wake up and walk out the hospital like nothing happened to him. But in those days, they were really pushing for organ donations. They had tried to scare my mom and his dad, saying that he would be a vegetable, and then they said, well, if he does come out of it, then he'll be going to prison. And my mom didn't want him going to prison, and obviously didn't want him being a vegetable, so they were distraught, and I asked them not to do this, but they didn't even really give him a day and a half. It wasn't even a day, actually, and they had already given his organs away to other people. Of course, they hadn't taken them from his body, but they had already promised his organs to people. And then they had the operation, and that is when my brother died, on October 7th. His accident was on the 5th, and then he was murdered on the 7th when they did the organ transplant, organ removal. I was with my brother the whole time. I came up and went up to him, and I stayed with him. His hands were warm, and they would squeeze his hand was squeezing my hand as I was talking to him. And I know that was him trying to communicate with me because he was so relaxed. They told me it was just his nerves twitching, but I don't believe that at all. And so, loss. That was the hardest thing that I had ever experienced. That was really the worst thing that ever happened to me. Losing my baby brother. But soon after, very soon after, well, I don't really know actually how soon after, but I couldn't eat, or I didn't want to do anything. I just cried all the time, and but then my brother did something. He started coming to me in my dreams, and it wasn't like I would dream it was a visitation dream, because you can tell a visitation dream by, you'll be dreaming and then all of a sudden you'll wake up suddenly and you'll feel their presence, or they'll say, like for me and my brother, it was every time we said we love each other, we would hug, and then I would wake up every time. And he did this quite frequently. He came to me frequently, up until it would mark a year of his murder. And I knew the last time was going to be a while before I saw him again, because it was a really, really long visit. And I could feel the hair on his arms, his arms, and I hugged him for a really, really long time, and then I walked him out to his truck. And he said something to me. We talked telepathically, but I asked him when I'm going to see you again, and he didn't say. He just said it's different for everyone. But that had like some other meaning. But he taught me that he never left me, and he's with me still. I'm not so articulate. And this is a really hard subject for me, but I'm trying my best here. I know that my brother is fine. He let me know that he's fine. He's in the 7th dimension now, currently waiting in line to be reincarnated through me. I know this because I have been in communication with the Arcturians, and they let me know in 2022 that this is the case. My twin flame and I are going to allow my brother to come through us. So it will be a very magical thing that happens, a very special event. I said that he should name himself, and he already had a name lined up. He was cremated. I didn't like it, but I guess my mom and him had discussed it. And so he was cremated, so my brother's kind of funny. He is actually pretty funny. So he said Ash. He didn't even hesitate. Ash, he said. So my brother's coming back as a girl, my baby girl, and I will name her Ash. He sends me A's and Z's. His name is Zachary, but he sends me, my brother's name is Zachary. He sends me Z's and A's all the time, and lets me know in various other ways. And he's come to me a few times in dreams, not as, of course, Ash, because I have not seen Ash. I don't know what she looks like, but my brother, he still comes as my brother. I can see my brother. He can actually appear in my dreams in whatever form he chooses. He's come to me as a cloud before, with flowers sticking all through it. He always tries to hug me, though. In whatever form that he's in, he hugs me. We have a mask that he had for Halloween. It's a scary bear. I don't care for it, but he came to me as this bear with his friends. He found his friends when he got up there. He showed me many. In that whole year when he was visiting me in dreams, he was showing me all the things that he could do in the astral realm. And he went through his healing process, and but perceived separation. We're not separated. He's with me, and he's with me all the time. He's always sending me signs and synchronicities, and lets me know I feel him. So perceived separation. And then also the same thing with my twin flame. We had, of course, a lot of twin flames experience a separation phase. I don't think it's 100% necessary. We actually had windows where, when we met, we were supposed to start our new life then, but, there is free will, and he chose to, out of fear, remain in the current situations that he was living in. But there was a time he didn't talk to me. He had me blocked, and it was all out of fear, not because he didn't love me or because he didn't want to have anything to do with me. Quite the opposite. But he just, the energy was very overwhelming for him. And how he had to, it was so overwhelming for him that he had to take a step back so he could absorb and transmute all the energies. And I understand that. But even his higher self came to visit me in dreams. He came to me a few times in dreams, but his higher self lets me know all the time that he loves me very much, sending me things that are signs from him, and I know that they're from him. But my twin and I do speak now, and we actually are very close to starting our new life together. But even when he's not with me in the physical, we're still together. I don't feel separate from him at all. I feel him with me all the time. And then I have another twin as well. And, we have actually never met in the physical. We've spoken. We've spoken online through texts. But we have never met in the physical. But we do meet in dreams. He has actually met me in dreams a lot. And it's really interesting when we dream, me and my other twin, we exchange energy, and it's very intense and very, very euphoric. It's the most beautiful feeling, and these energies help both of us. But I really enjoy those. I wish we could dream every night. But we've talked about it. We actually have the same dreams. So that's really cool. He's more of, he's kind of, I wouldn't say celebrity, but he is quite famous. There are a lot of people following him, and so I feel that when we do meet, it's going to happen very organically, and it's going to happen like we just run into each other. but separate. I don't feel separate from him either. He's always with me. It's this feeling like they're a part of me. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but we're never separated from anyone. We're all connected. And you can tap into, like, if I want to feel one of my twins, I'll just say, or even my brother, I'll just, like, relax myself and think about them. And actually, if I think about my twin intently enough, he will show up for me. Like, he'll show up for me in a text, or he'll speak to me like through one of my posts or something that he posted, and I don't know, like that. My other twin, my romantic twin, the one I have dreams with quite frequently, we are platonic. We have a platonic relationship. He is a gay man. But it's interesting that his energy feels exactly the same as my romantic twin's energy. So because we all stem from the exact same soul, so the energy is the same. So if we all feel the same to each other. But there is a difference. My romantic twin, I know that, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. But if I concentrate on really anyone, it doesn't even have to be my twin. If I concentrate on anyone, I pull it to me. I pull it towards me. And I don't think this is just something that I can do. I think probably a lot of people can do that. Or if not everybody. But I figured this out a long time ago when I was a kid. I figured out, like, if I think about somebody a lot, I get a call from them, or they start, like, wanting to hang out with me. I pull people in just by thinking about them. Like, even it doesn't have to be for a long time, but if you have, like,